J-Lo brought the gun and then threw it out and then lied to all of the law enforcement and the grand jury. Come to the front of the room, Jenny, with a Glock. You got some splaining.
In a shocking twist, it seems that Jennifer Lopez may not be in the clear regarding her involvement in Diddy's infamous 1999 nightclub incident. Despite thinking she had escaped the legal aftermath, reports suggest the case could be reopened. Natana Rubin, the victim in the case, has been vocal about the events of that night and is reportedly working with federal authorities to ensure J-Lo faces the consequences for her role. The night in question occurred on December 28, 1999, at a Times Square nightclub in Manhattan, where Diddy, J-Lo, and his then-girlfriend were celebrating the release of Jamal Shine Barrow's debut album. At the time, Shine was a rising star in the music industry. Allegations have surfaced claiming that J-Lo may have smuggled a weapon into the club and passed it to Diddy just before the altercation escalated into a violent confrontation. Now, with Rubin determined to seek justice, it appears that the drama surrounding J-Lo is far from over, and even her divorce might not be enough to shield her from this legal storm. Although Jennifer Lopez was gaining traction as a rising star, she was still far from the global icon she would later become. That night, a celebration turned into a disaster, leaving a lasting mark on everyone involved and sparking a case that would haunt their careers for decades. The story begins when Diddy and J-Lo were leaving a nightclub and things took a sharp turn for the worse. Diddy, casually holding a bottle of champagne, accidentally bumped into a patron named Matthew Allen, better known as Scar. Scar wasn't one to let things slide and shoved Diddy, triggering an immediate confrontation. The situation escalated further when one of Scar's friends hurled a stack of cash at Diddy's face, which sparked his anger. Diddy, in response, pulled out a weapon, and before anyone could process the situation, shots rang out. The chaos left 3 people injured, including Natana Rubin, who reportedly suffered a wound to the face, allegedly caused by Diddy. In the panic that followed, Diddy and J-Lo quickly made their escape, jumping into a Lincoln Navigator and speeding away with a weapon hidden in the trunk. However, their getaway wasn't smooth. Despite the high stakes, they ran a red light, drawing the attention of the police. They were pulled over, but not for the shooting, just for a traffic violation. Once at the station, things became even messier. Mugshots were taken, and by this point, J-Lo was reportedly in tears, completely overwhelmed by the unfolding drama. Adding to the tension, J-Lo's mother allegedly showed up at the station, visibly furious, and reportedly scolded her daughter in Spanish, shouting, "I warned you not to get involved with that man." As the drama continued, Diddy's then-driver, Wardell Fenderson, took the stand and dropped a bombshell. He testified that Diddy had tried to bribe him into claiming ownership of the weapon found in the Lincoln Navigator. This testimony painted a clear picture. Diddy wasn't about to take the fall for the incident. Whether or not he had pulled the trigger, the investigation revealed a tangled web of deceit. Authorities slapped Diddy with 4 weapons-related charges, in addition to the bribery accusations stemming from Fenderson's claims. However, Diddy wasn't going down without a fight. His legal team crafted a defense strategy that leaned heavily on optics, arguing it was too implausible to imagine him and J-Lo, a budding Hollywood star, casually cruising around Manhattan with a stash of firearms in their trunk. Their strategy was to paint the entire situation as absurd and out of character for a glamorous power couple like Diddy and J-Lo. One of Diddy's lawyers told the judge, "I don't know if you know this, judge, but this person, Jennifer Lopez, is a very famous actress. To think Mr. Combs is walking around with her with a loaded weapon is so ridiculous that it stretches the imagination." Somehow, against all odds, Diddy's defense strategy worked. The jury bought it, and he was acquitted of all charges. The high-profile case, which had the potential to derail his career, ended in a legal victory for the music mogul. However, the story didn't end there. Years later, Gene Dill, Diddy's former bodyguard, came forward with explosive allegations that painted a much darker picture. According to Gene, Diddy planned to save himself at any cost. He allegedly hired people and enlisted friends to show up at the police station to provide false testimony, shifting the blame squarely onto Shine. This betrayal was particularly striking since Shine was supposed to be Diddy's protégé, someone he mentored and guided through the music industry. Instead, Shine found himself taking the fall, facing a 10-year prison sentence, while Diddy's career continued to thrive.
People was coming to Bad Boy Security, Paul and other people, and said that they were there. So they were giving them the DA's and the lawyer's card and tell them to go make a statement. And some of those people who were making statements, they was making statements against Sean. Yo, bro, listen to me. Y'all hearing it from me, but Sean said it himself in his interview. You supposed to be my brother, and you got people testifying against me? Those people were testifying, they were brought to Puff first, saying that what they saw against Sean and what they saw Sean do. The DA didn't even know those people existed.
After the legal troubles, Diddy's problems didn't end. Among the lawsuits that followed, one came from his former driver, Wardell Fenderson, the same man who had accused Diddy of trying to bribe him into taking the fall for the incident. In 2004, Fenderson filed a lawsuit claiming that the events of that night left him emotionally scarred. The case was ultimately settled, but the terms remained confidential, leaving the public to speculate about what exactly transpired. Diddy also reportedly reached settlements with the 3 victims injured in the incident, including Natana Rubin, who had been wounded in the face. These settlements were likely an attempt to close that chapter and move forward, but the shadow of that night lingered over his career for years. In a bid to rebrand himself and shake off the scandal, Diddy even changed his name from Puffy to P. Diddy at the time, it might have seemed like a clever move to distance himself from the drama, but it's clear now that the past has a way of catching up. So why are the feds digging up this 25-year-old case, especially when it seems like everyone involved has moved on? That's where things get interesting. What many people might not realize is that Lil Rod, in a recent lawsuit, referenced the infamous 1999 club incident. His mention of the case appears to have reignited federal interest in it. In a section of the lawsuit, Lil Rod accused Diddy of using his power and influence to threaten and intimidate him. Lil Rod claimed that Diddy had threatened him with a firearm because he refused to give in to his demands. Diddy also allegedly tried to scare Lil Rod by bragging about getting away with shooting people. The lawsuit claimed that Diddy was very forceful and demanding, often threatening to inflict bodily harm on Lil Rod if he didn't comply with his demands. The lawsuit detailed incidents where Diddy allegedly threatened to eat Lil Rod's face, and on another occasion, while standing in Diddy's bedroom, Lil Rod was forced to watch as Diddy displayed his firearm and bragged about getting away with shooting people. Diddy reportedly shared that he was responsible for the incident at the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine, and that Jennifer Lopez, his girlfriend at the time, had carried the weapon into the club for him and passed it to him after he got into an altercation. For a while, this particular drama was swept under the rug, which isn't surprising given the other serious allegations against Diddy. However, it seems like Natana Rubin is not letting this case go. In a new interview, she firmly stated that J.Lo is not as innocent as she claims to be, insisting that J.Lo knew exactly what she was doing that night. Natana is determined to seek justice and hold those involved accountable. Natana Rubin then claimed that Diddy had allegedly bought his way out of trouble, using his wealth and influence to avoid facing the consequences of his actions. This accusation adds another layer to the ongoing controversy, as it suggests that money and power played a significant role in allowing Diddy to evade legal repercussions. Rubin's statement fuels the growing belief that justice has not been fully served and that the truth of what happened that night should finally come to light.
J.Lo clearly was caught throwing this weapon out.
Shine was accused of Julius Jones.
Oh, sorry, correct. But so why didn't Puffy and J.Lo get the proper, conviction?
Because their money is super long and people love adjacency to fame, celebrity. People are willing to sell their integrity for $1. Sharice Myers, all of you.
She then revealed that she's 100% open to working with the feds on the investigation, hinting that she had some information that could take J.Lo down for her involvement that night. This shocking revelation raises the stakes of the case, as Rubin suggests she possesses key details that could implicate the star, potentially reopening the investigation and bringing new scrutiny to Jennifer Lopez's role in the incident.
Through more in the government filings against Combs this week was that tape, the Cassie tape, and that the feds are alleging that he paid $100,000 to make that tape disappear. I would assume that doesn't surprise you.
No.
How much of that do you think has been going on over the past 25 years?
A ton of it.
Okay.
A ton. And here's why. First and foremost, if he paid $100,000 for the Cassie video, how much do you think he paid the club owners for the video of him?
Feds or any of this in this current investigation?
I have not, but I am a willing participant, sir. Come look me up. You know how to get in touch with me. Because they mentioned me in this recent filing. They mentioned my case.
Yep.
Right.
So if you mention my case, And they have not added all of the superseding indictments, because they don't, if they add the superseding indictments, they have to add the...
Jennifer and Diddy's high-profile romance in the late 90s made waves, but it's the aftermath and some little-known details that are reigniting conversations today. Adding to the mix is Matt Damon, whose connection to this narrative has caught everyone's attention. Known for his unwavering support of his longtime friend Ben Affleck, Matt's recent comments suggest he's ready to break his silence on matters that have been weighing on him for years. Matt and Ben's friendship is legendary. They grew up together, found fame side by side, and have always stood by each other through thick and thin. But now it seems Matt is growing increasingly frustrated with the ongoing headlines surrounding Ben's marriage to Jennifer Lopez, a relationship that has thrust Ben into fresh drama. Matt's recent remarks have fueled speculation that he's reached his breaking point and may be prepared to share what he knows, possibly shedding light on Jennifer's past relationships and the ripple effects they've had.
He was at the center of a violent incident again in December 1999, and this time, one of the biggest stars on the planet would be pulled into the fray.
Police say Lopez and Combs were picked up along with his bodyguard and driver, fleeing a shooting in a Manhattan nightclub that left 3 people injured.
Diddy was dating Jennifer Lopez. One night, he took her out to a New York City nightclub when all hell broke loose.
So essentially, J-Lo and Diddy were out partying with a couple of his friends, their friends, Shine, another rapper, and an altercation ensued, shots were fired.
I feel terrible that people were hurt that night.
For years, insiders have speculated about what really happened on that infamous night in 1999, with some claims painting Jennifer Lopez's involvement in a much darker light. Allegations have surfaced suggesting that Jennifer may have smuggled a weapon into the club for Diddy, potentially setting the stage for the violence that ensued. While these accusations remain unproven, they continue to fuel speculation about Jennifer's loyalty to Diddy and how far she might have been willing to go to support him at the time. Diddy's own actions during the legal fallout have added layers of intrigue to the story. Reports suggest he paid off key witnesses and possibly even judges to keep them from testifying or corroborating statements that could have implicated him further. Such alleged bribes may have been instrumental in avoiding prison, allowing him to walk away relatively unscathed. For Jennifer, who was on the brink of stardom, distancing herself from the events of that night was crucial. With her career trajectory on the rise, any lasting association with the incident could have jeopardized her future. These lingering rumors and unresolved questions, however, keep the controversy alive, adding to the complex narrative of Jennifer's rise to fame. The notion that Diddy's financial power and influence may have shielded both him and Jennifer Lopez from legal consequences raises serious questions about the lengths they might have gone to protect themselves. This theory casts a shadow over their actions during the fallout of the 1999 incident, suggesting that connections and resources played a pivotal role in avoiding harsher repercussions.
Lawsuits accuse the hip-hop mogul of horrific, in one case, against a 10-year-old boy.
What makes these allegations even more intriguing is their timing. Recently, Diddy has faced new lawsuits that have reopened old wounds, bringing fresh scrutiny to his controversial past. These developments not only revive speculation about the infamous club incident, but also prompt deeper discussions about the role of privilege and power in navigating Hollywood scandals. As more details come to light, the spotlight on both Diddy and Jennifer continues to intensify. As Diddy's legal troubles resurface, old accusations seem to be coming back to haunt him, dragging Jennifer Lopez's name into the spotlight once again. For Jennifer, who was closely tied to Diddy during the peak of his influence, it raises questions about whether her choices at the time were driven by fear of the potential impact on her skyrocketing career. With her rapid rise in both the music and film industries, she may have felt compelled to stand by Diddy, even if it meant being entangled in his controversies. Adding a fresh layer to this story is Matt Damon's recent involvement, which introduces a compelling dynamic. As a lifelong friend to Ben Affleck, who has been in an on-and-off relationship with Jennifer since the early 2000s, Matt has often been a stabilizing force during Ben's personal struggles. With Jennifer's controversial past making headlines again, Matt appears genuinely concerned about how this might affect Ben, who has already faced a difficult journey navigating addiction, mental health, and public scrutiny. Ben's relationship with Jennifer has had its share of challenges, and Matt's close bond with Ben likely gives him a deeper understanding of their dynamic. Having witnessed the highs and lows of Ben's life, particularly in his relationship with one of Hollywood's most high-profile stars, Matt's insights carry significant weight as this story continues to unfold.
Who was marry a white boy, Oscar winner for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gun residue on her hands the night that Natanya was at that club. Not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall?
It's possible that Matt Damon has observed how Jennifer Lopez's relentless ambition might sometimes conflict with Ben Affleck's more grounded approach to life and career. Jennifer has long been admired for her dedication to building her brand and securing her place at the top of the entertainment industry. To many, her drive is a source of inspiration, but to others, it can appear cutthroat. From Matt's perspective, Jennifer's ambition could be the very trait that compelled her to stand by Diddy during the turbulent moments of her early career, even if it risked entangling her in controversies. Her determination to rise above challenges and cement her stardom might have outweighed any personal hesitation about the consequences of staying aligned with Diddy at the time. For Matt, this could underscore a recurring tension in her relationships, especially with someone like Ben, whose values and priorities might occasionally clash with Jennifer's unyielding pursuit of success. For someone like Matt Damon, who values loyalty and has stood steadfastly by Ben Affleck through his personal struggles, seeing Jennifer Lopez's apparent focus on protecting her career above all else might be a hard pill to swallow. Matt's recent actions suggest he believes Jennifer's loyalty may be more tied to her professional ambitions than to the people in her life. As someone deeply concerned about Affleck's well-being, Matt seems to be questioning how Jennifer's past decisions and associations might affect his lifelong friend now that they are back together. Adding fuel to the fire, recent federal raids on Diddy's properties have thrown an explosive twist into the story. These raids, reportedly tied to new lawsuits accusing Diddy of violent and manipulative behavior, shed light on a troubling narrative. The allegations suggest that Diddy's immense power and influence may have shielded him from consequences for far too long. Fans have reacted intensely to these developments, speculating about the broader implications for those who were close to him during his controversial past, Jennifer included. As more dark stories about Diddy emerge, people who have followed his career, along with the speculation surrounding Jennifer Lopez's ties to him, are becoming increasingly concerned. Jennifer's silence on Diddy's past controversies only adds fuel to the growing fire. With new allegations against Diddy resurfacing and the potential repercussions for Jennifer becoming more apparent, viewers are left wondering if this time, the truth might finally come to light. Matt Damon's concerns seem to be growing more urgent. Fans are noticing how his critiques carry weight, especially as he raises questions that some things, like the unresolved past between Jennifer and Diddy, may be too significant to ignore. This adds another layer of intrigue to the already tense situation surrounding Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and their complicated relationships with both Diddy and Hollywood's power structures. Diddy's ongoing legal issues are raising serious questions about the inner workings of Hollywood's power circles, particularly when it comes to protecting influential figures. With Matt Damon now voicing his concerns, this story seems to be building toward a major turning point, and not everything was as perfect as it seemed on the surface. Diddy and Jennifer Lopez's relationship, once the epitome of glamour in the early 2000s, was marred by a significant and controversial moment that led to their breakup. The pair separated following a nightclub shooting incident in which both Diddy and Jennifer were arrested. The media frenzy surrounding the event created intense pressure on their relationship, ultimately putting an end to what was seen as a powerhouse couple in the music and film worlds. Now, years later, Diddy's name has resurfaced in the headlines, but this time it is tied to serious allegations and lawsuits. Former employees and individuals from his past have come forward with claims of threats and even orchestrating actions against those who crossed him. These shocking revelations have brought a darker side of Diddy to light, casting a shadow over the image of the music mogul that was once celebrated in the 2000s. As these new accusations come to light, they are stirring heated discussions throughout Hollywood and reigniting interest in Diddy's past. The infamous nightclub incident from the early 2000s involving Diddy and Jennifer Lopez became a turning point in their relationship and public image. The shooting, which injured several people, thrust the couple into the center of a media frenzy. Diddy was arrested in connection with the incident, leading to a major scandal that put immense strain on their relationship. While the case was eventually settled, the aftermath was hard to ignore, and it marked the beginning of the end for their romance. Jennifer, who had always been in the spotlight, became increasingly distant when it came to discussing Diddy. She reportedly avoided questions about him, even walking away from autograph signings when fans or paparazzi mentioned his name. This silence only fueled rumors that Jennifer might have known more about Diddy's alleged past activities than she was willing to admit, raising more questions about their relationship and her involvement in the incident. Jennifer Lopez's silence following the nightclub incident led many to speculate about her awareness of Diddy's behavior and whether it played a role in their breakup. Some sources suggested that her distancing from him could indicate she recognized warning signs, possibly leading her to take a step back from both the relationship and any association with the scandal. As the years have passed, fans have become increasingly fascinated with the idea that Jennifer might have been more aware of Diddy's actions than she let on. Many wonder if his behavior, which later surfaced in various allegations and lawsuits, was a major factor in their highly publicized breakup.
With me doing all of this. But he loves me, he knows I'm an artist, and he's gonna support me in every way he can because he knows this. He can't stop me from making the music I made and writing the words that I wrote. He can't, and that's gonna happen. And he doesn't want to stop me. He wants to do that, but that doesn't mean he's,
The mystery surrounding her role in the situation continues to fuel speculation about the dynamics of their relationship at the time. The 2000 MTV VMAs are remembered for more than just performances and celebrity appearances, as the heated argument between Diddy and Jennifer Lopez became a public spectacle. Amidst the glitz and glamour, Jennifer was seen standing in the crowd looking visibly hurt and frustrated, signaling tension in their relationship. Rumors about Diddy's behavior had been circulating, and the couple's struggles played out in front of a media frenzy, with their once glamorous romance starting to show signs of strain. In the aftermath of the VMA night, things took a darker turn. The VMA afterparty saga led to a resurfaced lawsuit involving a woman referred to as Jane Doe. This lawsuit reignites old allegations tied to Diddy and his behavior, adding a new layer of intrigue to the narrative. The combination of these public moments and private legal issues has intensified the scrutiny surrounding their relationship and the events that led to their breakup. The resurfacing of Jane Doe's lawsuit adds a haunting dimension to the narrative, suggesting that Diddy's behavior after the VMA afterparty was not just a one-off incident but part of a larger pattern of troubling actions. The details of the lawsuit paint a disturbing picture, with allegations of serious misconduct coming to light. This development has sparked outrage and drawn increased scrutiny toward Diddy's past actions, especially with Jennifer Lopez's name now tied to these allegations due to their former relationship. As the story unfolds, fans are left to wonder about Jennifer's awareness of these events. Could she have known more about the troubling incidents than she ever let on? This new revelation suggests that the dynamics of her relationship with Diddy may have been far more complicated than anyone realized at the time.